A dream to spin fire. The NFT analyzer. Diving deep into projects. He's the crypto energizer. From your mint coins to tokens. He's got all the intel. Web freezers and trees show you where to excel.
All right, so technically, I'm starting early, right? What did I have that at? Like 9 something? Like 9:50? I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened. I don't know. All right, so kind of late, early, like exactly right on the dot start. And probably going to, hang on. Probably going to end early today, too. Got a quick one today. We're back, dude. Yeah, we're back in so many ways. All right, let's do our GMs and let's take a look at what's going on out there. Cosmos, good morning, man. Good to see you, brother. DK, good morning. Choina, GM, bro. Hoods, good morning. Cats, good morning. That was a big fuck up. MJ, good morning, man. Cutie, good morning. Whole gang's here. Why? Moonship, good morning, man. Gravity, why are you up so early? I mean, sometimes you're here. Usually you're here. You guys are not going to like tomorrow's stream. It's proof that it's not run by AI. No time. I'll show you what I built yesterday. How about that? I'll show you. Actually, why don't we do that? Because I did make something yesterday. I like Moonship because he's like, prove it, you know? I love that. I'll show you what I made yesterday. I'll take you all the way through it and like what I did and how. And it's not going to blow your mind, but I think this is like the biggest mistake we're making. I'll talk about me. I keep waiting for somebody to build a cool, like an AI thing that blows my fucking mind. And I keep talking about the aha moment and like the watershed moment. And I keep waiting for it. And that's not, I don't think what we're supposed to be looking for. I think we're supposed to find ways where we can find utility in AI that saves you time. I think that's it. And that's not exciting, man. If you're stumbling on a thing that saves you 5 minutes, it's not exciting. It's not exciting. You find something that saves you 5 minutes and then something else that saves you another 5 and then something that saves you 15 and something that saves you an hour. And maybe you stumble on something after enough time that saves you hours. That's where things get special. And this is where people that they go, I'll say like maybe small business owners, right? Start seeing something. They're like, well, if that's saving me 3 hours a week, right? There's a value to that they're going to start seeing. Again, it's a process. I don't think you're going to see stuff that's like, holy fuck. And maybe you will. I actually think at some point that actually does happen. I'll show you what I made yesterday. And again, I'm going to show you. You're going to be like, okay, neat, whatever. For me, it was like I actually had an aha moment with it. And I was going to save it for tonight to share. But let's do it here and I'll also use it tonight too. And we're going to get to that in just a quick minute here. It is going to be a little shorter today, though. I got to get that real ID thing, man. I'm so bummed. I lost that battle. What's up? Good morning, man. I'm so bummed I lost that battle. I want to stay like off the grid, off the radar for forever. Oh, sucks. Let me get the abstract stream up too. While I'm doing that, hit the like on the show. You guys know we're streaming on X, we're on Kick, Abstract, YouTube, wherever you're watching, hit the like. Especially over here. It helps a ton with the algo. Actually, guys, believe it or not, like as dead as crypto is, I think views are looking decent. I think they're looking decent, man. I was expecting to be dead. I mean, what 400 views the other day? Of course, like clickbaity topic and a hot topic, but I think stuff's looking pretty okay here, view-wise. And I use that to gauge a lot about the space. So it is what it is. All right. Yat is using a mind right now for something very cool. Something really cool that you can go experiment with too. If you want to actually play with a mind right now, you can. I'll drop it in the chat. Yat has got a mind running in Telegram. Ethos, or I should say ethons, we call them, but they're minds. That's the Crypto Slam side of them. They're going to work on Telegram. Actually, if you can find your way to it, they'll work right now. The Mocha mines, the Animoca mines, I think work right now. All of them do. Yats do for sure. So he's got a mind working in Telegram. It's called Nexus Mind. when he was testing this, he was using it to test interviewing people. And I think it worked really well, really well. Using a mind to like screen applicants, I think is awesome. I think it's a perfect use case. One of the like millions of use cases I think you could find for these. Right now, he has it in Telegram. You can chat with it, you can pitch him ideas or request a meeting. And he's probably trained his mind to tell him to either summarize it all or like filter out like the kind of weaker stuff and give him like the spiciest pitches and give him the meetings that he doesn't want to miss, which is awesome for a guy like that. If it works, imagine how much time it saves a guy like that who gets pitches all day, like around the clock, right? If it works, if it's really filtering that stuff out, there's one of those many use cases right there for a guy like that. So if you want to play with a mind and don't want to launch one, but you want to see how they work, there's one version of it. I think you just scan the QR code. It's going to take you right to his bot, which is pretty badass. So you can do that. Again, I think these are incredible. I'm. Are they for crypto people? Yes. Man, I'll say stuff that's going to sound shitty, but I don't mean it to sound shitty. And you guys know me, so I think you'll know what I mean. It's for crypto people, yes, but I don't care. It's going to sound shitty. I don't care as much about crypto people. I don't want anything about this to feel crypto. I don't want it to feel crypto. I kind of like bot, and I'll tell you why. Like, it's not the term I'm going to use really, but in it's the language Telegram uses. They'll call it a bot, right? But like, I don't want to call these agents. I don't want to talk about crypto. All I want these to be are helpers, minds. Pay with your credit card. I don't want anything with crypto or AI in the conversation with them. And it's going to be there because that's what's under the hood, but who cares? And like, normies care and they hate that stuff. I don't want them to see any of it. They don't need to see any of it. Shouldn't matter. All that matters is, does it help you? And is it easy to get access to, right? Like, that's simple. And no installs. Freaking awesome. I'm going to start talking about Swarm more. I am. I've been given the go ahead. I'm not going to I can shill from my account, right? I'm not going to shill from the Swarm, the Ethos Swarm account. I could retweet something like this, but I'm just going to tell you, like, my hands are untied. I can start talking Swarm and how it works in the ecosystem and what's going to happen with it. I'm going to save that for tonight. And then I'll do it, every day on the show. But I'm going to save it for tonight. Tonight's going to be awesome, man. Finally making this work. I'm excited about it. But I'll be on the Big Will and Goon show tonight. And we'll be talking Ethos Swarm. Yeah, Cats, you're right. I want the token holders. And dude, this is so easy to me. This is the best way to not alienate token holders. It's to say, what, if you're in it because the value, then you're rooting for the normies to love the thing. You also don't want them to see crypto or AI. You don't want them to see that because you know they hate it, right? You want normies to just think helpful, easy. And if that happens, well, that screenshot I showed before, that's how they pay for it. They're going to check out with their credit card behind the scenes, it's buying Swarm. They'd have no idea. If they want to know, they'll know. If they don't like it, don't care, they're not going to notice it. That part's cool. I think the crypto AI people will like that. That's the big conversation on X right now. It's that people don't like it. People don't like AI. I get why. Whole other conversation. So yeah, tonight, what is it, like 8 p.m. Eastern time? Well, Big Will and Goon show. Love these guys. Talking, look, I need to get caught up on virtuals. I'm pretty out of the loop. Virtuals had a big announcement yesterday, this like revenue thing. Big revenue to agents, which is awesome. I need to get caught up, so I'm going to be like learning a lot tonight too, but I'm going to talk about everything we're doing. I think I'll talk about even personal, like what I'm up to, what I'm doing, but I want to share a lot about Ethos Swarm and, to Moonship's point, what I've been doing with it, what I've seen other people doing with it, and what I picture people are going to do with it coming up. And I'm excited for it, man. It's for me a creative tool and outlet. And again, I'm going to show you in just a second what I made last night. Yeah, Cats. I want to make sure we get time for that. Anyway, follow us at Crypto Slam on X. Follow us at Ethos Swarm on X. And let's get to it. Just quickly mark it. Yesterday was one of those days I'm heads down. Just heads down. And then I look up and I didn't realize it was a bloodbath out there yet again. Just another one of those, right? Just another one of those days. Stock market, awful. Crypto market, not actually didn't look great for a minute there. For a minute there, didn't look great. Yeah, yesterday was one of those days you're like, oh shit, is this it? Is this is that thing happening again? It kind of happened again. It wasn't crazy, but just yesterday was like, it just felt like all bad news, right? And then you see stuff like this that feels like it's poking at you. And I know this is an article talking about Gen Z and millennials, but that feels like, man, the disconnect that's out there, the separation that's just growing, man, it's getting weird. Gold and silver FOMO people getting wrecked, dude. It's wild. You know, those guys, I just picture it. I just picture those guys that are up there just laughing their asses off at the easy money they're making. It's crazy. It's crazy what's going on right now. Anyway, Gen Zers and millennials swimming in student debt. Yep. That's still me. It is. May never own homes. That's also me. I've owned once. I don't ever want to own again. I'm not you saw me duct tape my door. I'm not a handyman. I don't want to own a home. But they're splurging on gut healthy juices and rotisserie chickens. That's splurging. It's okay. There's something to that, by the way. There is. I think the younger generation, and me as well, are more wasteful than ever. I actually think that's true too. I'm really certain about that. We are way more wasteful with our money. That's not talked about enough. It's not. I remember like back in the days, you really you had your budget. It was super tight. You had your little fun budget. It was like $100 a month, right? It was nothing. And you ate lean and right. And that's not how it is now. You get a paycheck, you spend the paycheck, you put stuff on your credit card, you buy whatever you want, whenever you want. It's crazy. I don't want to own a home, dude, but I'm a man child, right? Like I don't want the responsibility. I don't want to own a home. If it were like a home in the middle of the woods, cool. But I don't want to own a home, man. I don't. I will pay extra for peace of mind to not have to worry about. I hated repairs. I hated dealing with like the loan and the banks and the fucking interest rates and just everything that adults should do and be good at. And I hate that stuff. That's why I love crypto. I get to stay a man child, I love it. I don't want to own a home. I don't. We got CPI data in this morning. Inflation down, man. This is the weirdest economy and market and just it's the weirdest life that I think we could have ever lived, man, because it doesn't make sense. We're hearing inflation's horrible and it still feels like it's not good, right? But the numbers are showing a different story, and then we don't trust the numbers. I don't trust the numbers, but CPI inflation, well, I guess we should trust those. CPI inflation falls to 2.4%, expectations 2.5%. Nice. Core CPI, that was January, by the way. Core CPI, 2.5, in line with expectations. Lowest level since March 2021. Odds of future or further interest rate cuts back on the rise. And Walter Bloomberg now saying traders are pricing in a 50% chance of a third rate cut this year. 3 rate cuts this year would be sweet. That would be sweet. I enjoy it. I enjoy that. I'm not sure. Moonship, it might be. Okay, situational, right? I've been in my place now for 10 years and my landlord's fucking great and almost never raises rent. I'm very happy with what I'm paying, and I don't think I'd be paying this much on a mortgage, but also if I were renting anywhere else, right? So there's that too. But I just had a horrible experience with my first home, and I saw a lot of I had my my mortgage broker license too. Like I was into real estate for a minute. My brother was a realtor. I was into that for a minute. I hated it. Hated everything to do with the housing market and home ownership. I hated it. This is in Florida. Saw so many people got wrecked. I was one of them. Hated it. Hated it. See, I mean, that's badass. If you can be an adult about it and handle your business, that's awesome. That's badass. It is. But again, I don't mind throwing away money for peace of mind. And there's a lot of people like me, Yeah, not the worst. Not the worst idea. Also, like my goal is to go make enough money, live in a state that cost of living is nothing, keep doing the crypto thing. That's the goal. Will it happen? Like my goal is when the kids are old enough to move out. That's the goal. I've got, 4 to 5 years of that. That's my goal. That's what's motivating me to do whatever. I want to live somewhere cheap. Maybe I'll own a home where it's cheaper, right? I don't mind that. Okay. Bitcoin 67 2, ETH 1900, Ripple 138, BNB 600, even Solana 80. That's where we're at. We got Coinbase's earnings and wasn't great. It wasn't great. I was gonna play the video. I think we'll skip that, but it wasn't great. Let me throw some data at you. China, that's interesting. Same down there too. All right, let's get some data here. Okay. Hang on. All right. Q4 2025 earnings. Revenue came in at 1.78 billion. It's down 20%, 22% year over year. And below the 1.84 billion that was expected. Net loss of 667 mil was a reversal from the 1.38 bill in profit. This is coming, by the way, from the great Tyler's newsletter. He's awesome. Not great. This time, the driver was a $718 million unrealized write-down on Coinbase's crypto investment portfolio. Tokens down. You know, we get it. Plus a $395 million strategic investment. What is this? Losses, including a big stake in Circle. Transaction revenue fell to 983 mil. That's down 6% quarter over quarter and 37% below last year's Q4. And then operating expenses way up 9% to 1.5 bill. So it's kind of everything there heading in the wrong direction, but also the market. It's the market. Coinbase stock fell almost 8%. There we go. They're all in on like infrastructure now, which is awesome, right? The agentic wallets, the base blockchain, right? This is their pivot. The focus is not just on trading fees, and it's smart. I dig it. I dig it. Some things that would be pretty damn sweet, though. I'll say this. That's fucking awesome, Moonship. I love it. I mean, it's the dream. It is the dream still. It is. It is. Russia considering moving back to the US dollar as part of a wide-ranging economic partnership with Trump. Hey, that'd be sweet. These are things that actually, dude, Armstrong's dumped almost $500 million in stocks in the past. I mean, the story broke this week. I mean, GG's to him. Yeah, selling a lot of stock. But this is awesome. There's things that can happen that in an instant turn this market around, kick us into high gear, or we just follow the typical cycles. Well, I don't know. Nobody knows. But a sign of where we're at, maybe. The Poly Market store open in New York. There's a Kalshi store opening too. Free groceries, $50 worth of groceries. I love it. I have these arguments sometimes with people, probably some of you guys, right? And it's like if we talk UBI or UHI, and you're like, no company's going to give you this. They're not going to do this out of the goodness of their heart. And that's true. But I also see stuff like this, and I hope this becomes more normalized, right? It's companies finding different ways to give back. It's a way. It's a small way. I don't know how big or small, but it's and I hope we see a lot more of that. And it is in that vein of a kind of stimmy, a kind of UBI, a kind of something, right? It's not dollar amounts, but you know what I mean? I like that. These companies, these people are making so much money. I like that a lot. Virtuals, I mean, look, there's some stuff happening here. I'm not paying that much attention right now. I should. I'm not. I saw some new launches that are looking pretty interesting. Yeah. Yeah. What whole other topic, but the amount of shit we let them get away with, the Epstein stuff, them losing is it trillions? I know we're deep into the hundreds of billions. It's got to be trillions. Them, they're funding these like off the books projects, weapons. Like it's so crazy. The fake God, this will get me pissed. I don't want to get that real ID, right? Just how fake everything is. Just how fake it is, dude. It's fake. We're playing a fake game, right? We're playing a game with rules that are like it's fake. They're arbitrary, and you got to play. You have to. Work 402. And don't know what it is. 3.18 mil FTV. Nice. This has got to be a new coin. This is new. This launched on the 10th, 3 days ago. Right? There's opportunities out there. This is, I think, a 60-day launch. Yeah, 60 days. Man, there's plays out there. There for sure are. Especially when things are slow, man. Man, do not unplug from this stuff. Just don't. It's awesome. Cool stuff. I love this. This is the new virtuals, kind of a big update. Also, Katz is right. It's just opening the door to wash trading. Monetization era of AI agents. These guys are, I mean, $1 million a month they're going to allocate up to, depending on the fees they bring in, up to $1 million a month they're allocating to top revenue earning agents, right? Agents that are plugged into the virtuals ACP who provide a service are going to get paid up to $1 million a month, and it's shared. It's split between the top projects. Katz is right. It's opening the door to just wash traders getting paid. I think so much of the volume in ACP is wash trading. It's farming points. It's also projects padding their numbers. I'm very certain about that. Right? I'm very sure about that. There's some projects, probably some of the bigger ones, probably that probably are looking like high on that revenue kind of leaderboard, and I'm pretty sure it's not all legit. I'm pretty sure. Where this gets spicy though, it's a scenario they're showing that if the top agent that's generated revenue is only generated 500, I think there's others too, Cats, but yeah, that could be one. I think there's a lot of fakeness there. An agent generates 500 in sales, and 500 is enough to make it number one. If it's number one with even just 500 in sales, well, it doesn't matter what your number is. It matters where you rank. And I think what percentage you are of the total, whatever, I think, again, I've not broken this fully down, but in theory, you can do 500 in sales and you get the biggest chunk of that 1 mil monthly. Again, depends on the fees they've brought in. So in theory, you can have 500 in sales and get paid $100,000 a month. Right? So you are incentivizing projects to generate artificial sales and people to wash trade, and you're going to get rewarded for it. Don't love it. I get it too, and it's fine, and I can't wait to see how it plays out, but just expect a lot of that. What is it, Cats? Total service sales. What are you saying? Could be spicy. It could be spicy, not for any of us, but for teams. And can they just push a bunch of fuckery to get there? It probably feels like it. Feels like it a bit. So the agent stuff's getting interesting. That's fees generated from sales. That's fees generated from sales in ACP. Hang on, the $500. $500. Hang on. I don't know if I can follow right now. In other words, although the agent generated 500 in service sales during the epoch, its leaderboard performance resulted in, okay, that's not it. I don't know. Suppose an agent generates 500 in total service sales. Yeah, I don't follow Cass, but that's okay. I think in the Big Will and Goon show they'll break it down tonight. That takes thousands. So they're counting that figure by your fees that are generated from the service, from people like using the service. So many games in the virtuals ecosystem, trying to understand I understand trying to get people involved. It seems like everyone's trying to gain. Yes, yeah. That's a great way to put it. And that they keep changing it. And right, it's I'll say this: they keep it interesting. They've definitely gamified it. But I think we've all realized, like, for all the talk about AI, there's not a lot of like utility. And this ranges from like agents that are supposed to be trading and making you money. They're not. Otherwise, we'd all be using it right now, right? If they were making money, we would all be using it right now. They're not. If they are, it's the best kept secret in all of crypto. So they're not. Um, and then we're hearing about these people building apps that they're monetizing and it's doing this and that. Are they? Because I'm not seeing those stories really either. I'm hearing the announcements, people posting that it's happening, but I'm not seeing them happen. So I don't know. I don't know. And then you get posts like this, and this is interesting, right? Spotify came out and said their best devs are not writing code anymore. And I believe that. I think there's a few places where what people are saying about AI is very true, and I think this is true. I think that's true. And then I just remind myself that it still is. I mean, man, yeah, bankers like the exception here. Bankers cooking. I just keep reminding myself this is the worst. And you could say this every single day. This is the worst it's ever going to be, which is a crazy thing to think, right? But we go back to the Will Smith example, right? 3 years ago, it was that, which was cool as shit back then, but also it was that. And now it's actually probably better than this now. It is. It is better than this now already. Everything will work like that. I believe that. Can you ever get to perfection? That I'm not sure about. Can you get close enough? I think so. And what's the time frame is what we're all trying to figure out, because the implications are so big if you can figure out the time frame. But that in 3 years, from that to that. And we felt it with ChatGPT, and we felt it with whatever model you're using and whatever AI tool you're using. You've probably felt it to some degree. Yeah, I felt it on Suno. I've felt it on I've not felt it on clipping software, AI clipping. I've not felt it there. Maybe I'm using the wrong product. Some of the things are not getting better, but actually that might not be true, right? We've got a guy on our team who's putting together, and it's not quite clipping, but you can use code to make shorts, and it actually works very well. I was shocked. I don't know. So I don't know. Okay, so let me show you what I made yesterday, and I had this realization, right? And it ties into minds. I made something for my mind, and it actually AI will create a quantum chip, maybe. I could see it. Okay. Yesterday we looked at what was it? Sage to learn, and it's not there anymore, right? And I had that in mind yesterday, and I was thinking of all these other agents that just aren't doing anything. And then I was thinking about agents that are doing something that people still like. Lurky's great, yeah. I was thinking about Facey, right? The truth seeking agent. Would we all agree Facey is a good example of an agent that works, that's useful? I think that's kind of a success story right now. I don't know where it's at. Let me see. I think Facey's one of the good ones. What's the new rollout? I'm really curious about this because this ties in a lot to what hit me yesterday. I'm not like a Facey expert either. Like, I don't know all their products they have, but all I'm thinking about is a truth seeking, kind of agent, right? Verifies claims from posts, podcast videos. What it has that's great is it can analyze audio. That's awesome. Okay, but I was thinking this yesterday. If we're really at the point where you can, tell AI to write you an application or write you code or write you a process, if we're really there, there's a scenario where even good stuff like this is obsolete. There's that scenario. So I kind of put it to the test yesterday. And I'm not going to say I think this is obsolete now, but it just hit me. The idea that we're all going to write our own apps that are just there for us to help us with whatever we want, and independent of you monetizing it, because I think most people won't. But I decided to make a mind that fact checks things for me. That simple, right? I just wanted to see if I could do it. And I could do it. And it was really fucking easy. It was really, really easy. So I'm going to share it. Again, It's not going to blow your mind. But what blew my mind is, hey, I'm an email away from fact checking anything I want, anytime I want, and I know it's accurate. That was pretty eye opening to me. Let me pull this up. It was pretty eye opening to me that I could spin it up that quick. Here, let me get this up here. Hoods, yes. Let me message you after the show. All right, let's see. Is that the right one? I think so. Okay, so again, I just want to test because dude, all day long I see bullshit stories. All day long, you know? And of course I could go to Grok real quick and ask it. It's not enough for me. I want to like actually fact check something. So again, just thinking, can I make an agent or a mind that I can use to fact check? And the idea too is, well, that I could use, but maybe other minds before they give people info. If the person wants, they can have their mind double check it, whatever that info is. So I made a mind. I fed it, and this is all very simple, right? I fed it like 5, 6, 7 sites. I want it to help other minds, right? To help me. I want it to use web search. I want it to use Grok search to verify news. I want it to like lock these sites in memory. And anything I throw at it, I want it to go verify true or not true and check every single one of these sites. Every single one. Later down the road, I started telling it, when you give me the results, I want you to tell me, I need to have it give a score. Right now it's like true, untrue. I want it to give a score. But I said, when you give me the results, I want your sources in there too. That's simple. That's simple. So first thing I threw at it was the Kid Rock show was it lip synced, right? Because that was a big, thing in the past week, right? And it goes out, and I'm talking like within a minute, 2 minutes, I've got my answer. It went back and it kept trying to double check, and I only wanted to do it once. I just wanted to do it, the first time, and I wanted to do it right. But it was pretty fucking awesome that it gives me a verification, true, not true. Moonship, what should I throw at it? I'll try. I'll ask it whatever. Dude, it is. Yeah, I love the audio thing. What else does Facey do? But it's just an example. It's just an example of the amount of things that you're going to be able to spin up for yourself on the spot as you need it, and things that will improve your whatever. Can I say quality of life? Cut out time, all that stuff. Yeah, dude, yes. Like, if this helps me, from here on forward, fact check something on the spot, it's just an infinite thing now going forward. And then I come up with something later today, something completely different, and something. If I just have all these things that all day long improve kind of everything I'm doing, I'm like, this is what's so weird that's coming. And how do you explain that to somebody? It's just going to make everything better. Ooh, that's a good question. Moonship, tell me the question to ask. Inverted's thing he's doing is badass too. Feel free if you want to share it in the chat. It's badass. I want to step further with this too. I wanted to see if it would help me build a website so other people could use it. So I'm only thinking of somebody like my wife, right? I always go with like people who are not technical and are not in crypto or AI, and could I make something for her to use it too? It half works, doesn't full work. And I didn't put a ton of time, but it half works. It gave me the code. It walked me through a couple manual steps to set it up. It took 20 minutes, and I have a site that all it's doing right now is feeding the results here. I want it where you can ask the question, right? And I don't know if it will. You can. It'll open a mail to thing. You'll email. Technically, it's routing to me, and I want it to route to my mind. But again, these little things that get me thinking how much stuff we're going to be able to build. They seem minor, and they're not. When they start stacking up, and you start feeling all the things that you're going to get these little improvements on, and again, those little improvements start adding up to big time. They do. They will. And that gets me very, very excited. But again, it had me starting to question a lot of the stuff that like, it's not just a virtuals thing across the board. An agent that does this, Look at something like AI XBT. It's kind of obsolete now because anybody can spin up an agent just about as good as AI XBT. That's almost like the default. It's kind of almost like a default alpha, you know, um, degen agent. It was so good back in the day, and it's still great. AI XBT is great, and he's like larger than just what he does, right? But that anybody can spin up kind of an AI XBT now, and anybody can spin up a basic truth seeking thing. And it just takes like just natural language to do it. Is to me really really fucking impressive. It just is. Um Vert, is that what you're sending? Is that your website or is that a tool you're using too? But yeah, Moonship. I don't even a year from now. I just go back to that video and I'm like, how quickly it's evolving. It's wild, right? It's just wild to me. So in a year from now, I mean, is it the like is it the doomsday scenario where AI is doing everything and there's no jobs? I can't picture it. But is it what other people are saying where like devs or engineers like they're not doing that work anymore? We're closer to that with them specifically. I'm still waiting for me, and the thing that would impact like me and people I know the most is the customer servicey kind of thing. That's just the world I know well, like the like an IT support thing and a call center and like right. I those are going to be so easy to make go bye bye. And I don't know. I think it's important to watch for when they do go bye bye because I imagine the people who own those um would love to not have to pay for a whole bunch of people. I imagine they would love it. I'm waiting to see those kind of jobs go bye bye. When it does, that's going to be my oh shit moment, right? When that happens. Yep, I think that's true. I think that's true. Um, yeah, anyone will be able to create blockbuster style movies in their. I was listening today to the what was it Ben Affleck interview where he says that's not going to happen, and I don't agree with him, man. I think with human help, I think he's like missing the point, or he doesn't want to. Like, I mean, remember the Ben Affleck thing, and he's like, AI is never going to do that. It's never going to create a blockbuster. It's never going to create art. It's like it's a tool, but it's not a creator. I'm like, I think I'm pretty sure he's wrong. Like, I think one person with enough time and resources could make a blockbuster, an actual, like an engaging blockbuster movie. Again, like very much hand in hand with AI. So yeah, as a tool, but I think you can do it now. I think you can get very close to that now. I think he's wrong, but commercials, trailers, games, all that stuff. Yep. Blockbuster movies. I really think so, man. I really think so. Again, it's only going to get better. This is the worst it's ever going to be now. And I just think people discount like, man. Oh, dude, MJ, I love that. That's so spot on. I honestly, and when you work in the machine, you always come to that point where you realize how not important you are, how replaceable you are. Like, make no mistake, we'll get to the point where they will replace you. We'll get there eventually. But like, dude, yeah, I like that. Actually, I saw a take that he wasn't the best Bruce Wayne. That he comes across too like blue collar, not white collar. I'm like, I kind of get that. Oh, also random. Did you guys see the trailer for The Bride? It's Christian Bale and Margot. Wait, Christian Bale and hang on. Oh, I think I got this wrong. Hang on. I thought. All right, now I got to look. All right, I got to look now. I thought it was what's her name? Um. Oh, I got it way wrong. Oh no, Maggie Gyllenhaal. That's right. Christian Bale and Maggie Gyllenhaal back together. I think the first time since The Dark Knight, right? I don't know if she's in it. Is she in it? I can't even tell with her makeup now. Anyway, this trailer looks fucking awesome. Just so you know. Just so you know, it looks awesome. Okay, where were we at? Again, I think anybody saying AI is not creative is nuts. And it's so, for me, so obvious. Like, AI's predicting, AI's just coming to the most likely outcome. And then, like, it's so obvious. Why wouldn't an AI understand at some point, and especially if you tell it to go with like the least likely outcome, which would then be surprising, right? And like creative. I think it's so easy to have AI be creative. I do. I think people are wrong about it. The robots thing is going to be wild. Saw a video this morning. If it was real, I don't know, but picking mushrooms, like just to show they've got, finesse. It's true. It's going to be, I don't know. Time frame is what we're wrong about. Time frame is what we're wrong about. I think everything we think though is, I think it's spot on. I really do. G Money. Let me see what he's saying. I let an AI test 88,000 trading strategies. The winner made money every single year, never lost more than 3%. Interesting. Okay, we got to watch this. Today I'm putting into the ring with real markets for the first time. Paper trading starts now. I wonder how that works. I wonder. Look, the first person to really crack it, and actually make money and then give you a service where it makes money for you too, game the fuck on. Because everybody signs up for it, and then you're going to have somebody spin up another version to counter trade all those people, right? It's just that moment, I think, comes at some point. I saw somebody tweet this morning, said that AI will never trade well because it can't predict the future. And I'm like, come on, can we make up our mind? Like AI is great at predicting and that's all it does, or it can't predict, or what? Like, can we make up our minds about any of this? Nobody knows fucking anything. We don't. I don't. Nobody does. I just think there's things you can guess and make very good guesses at. AI is going to be phenomenal at trading, can ingest and react to information like market info and then actual reports and then insider info from prediction markets, can ingest it and react to it faster than any human. Already can if you teach it the right way to. Takes a human touch, I think, still maybe. It's hard for me to see AI not being able to outtrade humans. And it's like, I'll say this, it's hard for me to understand why it isn't doing that already. Does anybody get why it's not doing that already? To me, it should have been. It should have been doing this past year. I don't get why it didn't outtrade us all last year. I don't get it. Yep. I don't get it. But I think we're on the cusp of that moment. And if we're not, then we're still talking about some kind of time frame, a year, a few years. I don't know. There is a time frame where they will be trading, and they'll be trading very well. The fact that he ran this simulation and it never lost more than 3%, he didn't talk about how much it was up, right? But somebody is going to knock that out of the park. And the first person who does, right? You always watch that leader, right? First person who does is going to make some stupid money, and it'll be copied really fast too. It'll be copied so fast, but that's the moment where DeFi is here, and I can't wait for that. And it kicks off the token trading frenzy, I think. But that moment's coming. I can't believe it's not here. I can't. Back to inflation. Again, nobody knows anything. I don't know what to believe, except for myself at this point. Just trust my gut. But every week for the last 9 months, experts have been saying inflation was going to get hotter. And it continues to not be. And actually, I think he and I agree perfectly. Nobody knows jack shit about the economy, and money's fake, and the money printer's incoming. I'm still betting on that. My entire everything thesis is about that. Moonship for a while, yes, but I think he ended up being on a pretty big losing streak, I think, and then pivoted to being a market maker, if I remember right. Once AI does take over, social statuses will be locked. Man, that could be the way it plays out. It's why it's really important you're really on the leading edge of this. I think if you're paying attention to this now and you're playing with this stuff, I think you are ahead of that. it's like it's just the you're playing the averages that you stumble on something that's awesome that helps you make money, right? But yeah, it's look, if you're like in a lower class when this thing all happens, I still think you're going to have the best opportunity to get out of that you've ever had. But I don't think a lot of people have the motivation to do it. I think a lot of people are so turned off by the tech that they're like, fuck it, whatever. Like people give up, right? I think that's going to be the bigger problem. 6 hole, there is no token. That was the plan for a while, right? That slam token, it is going to be swarm and swarm only, which is awesome, right? There were reasons for that token. There were reasons for it. Like it made sense, but it makes way more sense to not have another token. It'll be swarm for everything, which is awesome. Oh, no shit. That's cool. That's cool. I didn't know that. Good shit. But yeah, truth, Bert. Yeah. And I think that's the thing that's going to separate people. If you've got that motivation, it'll be easier than ever to crawl out of wherever you're at and to, change your life. But most people don't. You've seen the thing like, like, I don't know, 80% of being successful is just showing up every day. And this, guys, like from how, like, wherever you work, right? You've seen the people that coast by and do the bare minimum and they don't give a shit. And you've seen how just a little effort puts you ahead of like 80%. We've all lived that. I think we've all seen it. I think it's really obvious. Same thing with AI. I think though that 80% won't give a shit, won't touch it. They'll use it without realizing it, but they're not going to be motivated to push and use it to do something like badass and then make money. They're not going to do it. It's so mind-bogglingly true, dude. It's like when you realize that, and again, we're older. I think we've all lived it. We all know. But when that hits you for the first time, you're like, "Are you kidding me?" You can go a couple ways with it. You can be like, "I could just throttle back that much and be totally fine and get my paycheck and do that little." Or I can just push like I'm pushing or go a little above because you see what the guys above you are doing. You're like, I can do that. God damn. It's like a big awakening moment when you realize all that shit. And most people are not going to put in that effort. You get so comfortable. And I fell in that trap to getting comfortable lots of times before. But most people live there and they're not pushing. I love that. See, again, it boggles my mind why AI hasn't done it yet. It feels like it should be capable. Like betting on teams and sports, I think is different, but maybe not. I don't know. I don't get why AI hasn't fucking cooked with trading. I don't get it. But again, I think it's going to. By the way, I love NFTs. I don't know if you know that. I fucking love NFTs. Saw the Banker Club NFTs shoot up to a 1/8 floor. These were 0.1 just a few weeks ago. There's so many opportunities. Look, man, again, nothing you don't know already, but the time to look at it is when you don't want to because you think they don't matter and you don't care and nobody cares. It's the best time to be looking at stuff. And something's going to happen with NFTs that's going to catch everybody's attention again. And it might not be now, and it might not be this year. It might not be next year or the year. It might, but at some point, no matter what, you're going to have guys like me and E-Rock who fucking love them. And Vert. You're going to have guys who love them forever. And man, at some point, everybody else is going to catch on to that there's money being made and that there's cool shit happening. And they're going to come flood back in because it's human. It's going to happen. I'll bet everything on it. It's going to happen. It's a when thing. But just to know, again, you want to pay attention when other people are not, when most people are not. And man, NFT sentiment could not be worse. Couldn't be worse. It's the best time to be in them. That'd be awesome. E-Rock, I can't wait. Again, I don't think the modest mint is going to absolutely send, but I think it'll be cool. It might do good. We'll see. Man, 21, 22 is always going to be so fucking special. It was such a good time, man. And I think I think we're going to get a 21, 22 cycle again. I think we're going to do bigger. I do. And I like sounding unhinged when I say that because it's great. It's great. I mean, man, you made that money in 21, 22 when you were ahead of everybody else. That's it. That's simple. When you thought something everybody else didn't think, or they just didn't know yet. It's one of the two. It's either or. It's better when it's both. Man, Deathstar did not take down the Doodles. They're up almost 10%. Is that real? Are they up almost 10%? That's crazy. I'll say this about Deathstar. I love it. I hope Henry's not watching. I love Deathstar. I love it. But I think they've done studies here, man. Okay, you guys tell me if you've heard this too, right? I think it makes sense. Okay, hate and fear and all that shit gets attention, right? But getting people spending their money, I think there's been studies on this. When it comes to spending your money, people are not as willing to spend on like negative feels, negative vibes, whatever. Even if there's an opportunity, and I think this is a cool thing if it's true, speaks to human nature. You spend money when it feels good, when it is good, right? Like that's our nature. So Deathstar, because it's got this image as this thing that's meant to wreck floor prices. It's like I might make money. I'm looking at it. I'm paying attention, but I'm not spending my money on the thing. It's just like again, this human nature shit just rules everything. Like I think there's something to it. Was Swarm airdropped pre-launch to anyone? Swarm airdrop. Swarm was airdropped at launch to people who farmed the bull. So if you had bull tokens, there was like a conversion. It was like I think because the supply was bigger. I'm trying to remember exactly, but yes, Swarm was airdropped to bull farmers. So if you held bull tokens, you got the same ratio in Swarm. But I think that was it, right? And we have investors, right? Like we've got like Mark Cuban and those guys who've got token, Animoca, with token, right? Um, what makes the value of the token go up with Dester? It's the buybacks, right? It's they've got a couple things now, right? Holding and staking 1 million token gets you in the raffle to be able to buy the discounted NFT that you can then dump right into a bid. It's really clever. I really like it. So it's just FOMO into the token. You want to chase the top, you want to chase the higher price. And it's thinking the buybacks are going to push that price up too. And it's the opportunity to get those 20% discounted NFTs. You make an instant, few $100. So it works, but again, if it's a negative thing, and that's how people feel, that's what they think and feel about it, it makes you not want to click buy. I'm pretty sure that story's right. Yeah, 20% burn so far. All it's doing is eliminating how many people can get in the raffles. If you need 1 million, as of right now, there's only like what? It's 800 people. There's 800 people that can get in the raffle at most. And every time there's more burned, it's like every time you cross another mil threshold, it's one less person. So you get to the point where only a few people are in the raffle, but also nobody wants to buy it. Maybe that's where the tug of war comes, right? Does somebody want to lose their chance at the raffle for higher token price to sell it? And it's really interesting. But I fall back on that. I think it's human nature to not buy uh, negative stuff. So we will see. We will see. Um, what if they burn the NFTs? Yeah, that would be extra shitty. But then you lose the opportunity for people to make money, which is part of the attraction, is to get to buy one cheaper. So I think that'd be interesting, Gravity. But it wouldn't push people to buy the token. Nobody's going to buy it to see another collections NFT burn. They'll buy it if they think they get to make money from it, you know? But I think it's interesting too. It would shrink supply, but not in your own collection, right? In somebody else's collection that you probably aren't a holder of. You're saying that collection would buy token to see their own collection supply lessened. Some of them don't like that, but also, yeah, there's something there. There's something there. All right, gotta call it. Real ID's calling me. What a fucking bummer. What a bummer. But okay. Tonight, 7 p.m. No, I'm sorry, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be on with Big Will with Big Will and Goon on the Big Will and Goon show. I can't wait. Love those guys. It's a good chat. It's like a good two to 3 hour long show, which is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna get a coffee ready. That's late for me, man. That's my bedtime. That's my bedtime. But we're gonna do that damn thing. Can't wait. Let me double check the time. 5 Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Yep. And you're really gonna dislike tomorrow morning stream, personal stream, because I'm gonna be playing eugenics. We'll talk some crypto. Of course, we're gonna talk some crypto. I would, but I'd rather them get the views on their spaces, right? Just to be if it were my spaces, I would do a stream here too. But it's their show, and I want them getting all the clicks, right? Hey, badass dude, that's awesome. It's a nice win. I'll say this, Sixhole. I'm getting a lot of messages from people who are buying it, are very excited about it. We've not started any kind of push yet. We're just talking about it, but we're not starting any kind of like promotion yet. We're not talking about Swarm much yet. Again, I'm allowed to talk about it, but we're not pushing it yet. I think it's fair to say I'm very bullish on what we're doing. There's so much coming on the product side, yes. On a whole other front, there's so much coming and changing, and I can't wait. That's what I'll say. That's what I'll say. It's the most excited I've been for anything we've done. I think even more than the old days with Crypto Slam. I think that's true. Yeah. But enjoy. I'm glad you got some tokens, man. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow, or I'll see you on Monday. I hope I see you tonight on the Virtuals Weekly Big Will and Goon show. So go follow them. Follow us at Crypto Slam on X. Hit the like on the show here. Subscribe at Crypto Slam on YouTube. Oh my God. I'll see you later. Bye.